Hello, this is Keybounce, and I want to show you around a little bit of the coloring for our world. You may have noticed that we have sheep pens. Lots and lots of sheep pens. 16 sheep pens. What are we going to do with sheep pens? We're going to color them. Over here, and this stake, by the way, is acting as a brown stand-in. This is roughly the best implementation of the standard color wheel that I can find for Minecraft. You have the white to black grayscale over here, and you've got reds, orange, yellows, greens, blues, purple, magenta, and so on. And the position of these things all represents the various recipes. So for example, you can bleach red to make pink, you can bleach cactus green to make lime green, you can bleach blue to make light blue, and you, of course, apply different shades of bleach to black. Brown is a dark yellow. Never mind that in this game it comes from a separate cocoa beans. People who have studied color perception have determined that brown is nothing more than dark yellow. When you actually look at how the reds and blue interact to make magenta and purple, and how yellow plus red combine to make orange, you realize that straight white, pink, red doesn't quite get the red in the right place. It actually belongs slightly to the right of the center of this spot. Equally, blue is slightly to the left of the center of this spot. If blue were here, then blue plus green would be cyan, and that may be the recipe in game, but when you take into account purple, magenta, blue is slightly over to the left. Once you have blue slightly to the left, you notice that blue, green, red, your RGB triangle does not include cyan. It's slightly outside, and that's not an error. sRGB does not contain the color cyan. Your standard sRGB monitor cannot display cyan. So you've got your cyan, magenta, yellow. You've got your red, green, blue. Various issues with yellow browns if you are in the RGB space. And of course, if you are in CMY, they all combine to make brown. Can't quite get it perfect, but this is pretty close. So this is what the real color wheel looks like. And we have a 4x4 set of sheep pens. So how do we color a 4x4 set of sheep pens to fit this? Well, we've got 3 ideas. Proposal number 1. We have a gray ring, a gray edge, a pastel ring, and a saturated ring. Meaning, we have a grayscale down here. We have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purples in pastel colors. And then our saturated colors here. Saturated blue, saturated green, saturated dark yellow. These are saturated plus dark. Red doesn't quite fit. It should be out here, but that doesn't fit a 4x4 pen. So here's one possibility for coloring. The red is slightly out of place, but otherwise it looks good. Another option, and forgive me, I have a construction in progress over here. Another option over here, oops, wrong side. We have the whites in the center, a color ring, and a dark on the edge. So what that means is we have our white point in the middle. We have red, orange, yellow, green, blues, purples, our white point. And with this approach, red and green are opposite on one axis. Yellow-blue is on another axis, slightly off from the white point, can't be helped. We have dark blue over here. We've got our gray and dark black over here. Yellow and dark yellow or brown over here. So this is reasonable. We've got the red-green axis works. Yellow-blue is slightly off. We have our red, blue, green. And cyan is outside of that. Dark blue is an oddball here. Our CYM includes a lot of things nicely. And if you include K, you get all of this quite nicely. So this is a reasonable way of doing it. We've got, as I said, we've got our white point, black point, coloring. Dark blue is the only one that really doesn't fit. So one option has dark blue not fitting over here. The other one had the dark red not fitting over there. And those are the two options that we have based on a 4x4 grid. However, the sheep pen is not set in stone. It's set in wood. Wood can be redecorated. If you have a better idea on how to set up the sheep, let us know. We are going to be coloring them. We're not exactly sure how we want to color them. We don't want to have to recolor them. So if you've got a good idea on how to color them and how to arrange the colors, let us know. We might wind up using your suggestion instead. All right, so once again, the color wheel for reference. Grayscale, pastels, and darks plus saturated. Or come up with something better. Thank you and have a good day.